writer. And I have this office at home, and that's where I write my books, and that's where I write my talks. And when I write my book, I tell myself, 500,000 people will read the book. And so I really put my heart into it, and I get lost in a different world. And that's when my son enters the room, barges in, and my 5-year-old son says, "Daddy, there's this thingy in my finger." And everything stops. I mean, when he comes in, everything stops. That's my policy. That's my rule. And I stand up and I say, "What was it? What is it, son? What is it?" And my son, says, "There's this thingy in my finger." And I look, and there's a little bit of dry skin. So I pull it out. And I say, "Is that okay, son?" "Thank you, Daddy." And he rushes out of the room. And so I sit down, grateful that I can go back to my writing. But 5 minutes after, my son barges in again. And he says, Daddy, I'm hungry." And so again, everything stops for my son. And so I go down the kitchen and I prepare him a sandwich. I give him juice or whatever. And as he munches on the sandwich and sips his drink and he feels so wonderfully satisfied and content, I look at him thinking of my work actually, but I'm just there stuck and glued on my son. Why do I do that? Number one, because I believe in life there is no replay, no rewind. There's only this little time where my son looks for me. Because the time will come when he won't come barging in my door anymore. He'll be big and he'll have friends and he'll have work. So while he asks for me, my policy and my decision is I don't debate, I don't argue. I just say, "Yes, son." Everything stops. Now, why do I say that story to you? Because if I, a selfish human being who's sinful and weak, does that to my son, how much more our God? How much more when we go to God, I believe this, everything stops for Him. The whole universe stops. Why? Because we're special. And that's the message of this show. I believe this, and you better listen carefully. I believe that there will be no success in any level of your life, in any area of your life, whether it be marriage, whether it be in your career, whether it be in your financial life, whether it be in your spiritual life, there will be no success whatsoever if you do not believe you're special. You've got to believe that you're special and that God has given you the gift to do it. I was telling Pat a while ago, my life. I was telling her how I was such a bad student, and the reason why I was such a bad student, because I believed I was bad. Your self-concept is so important. I remember this. I remember this. I failed to tell Pat that later on, I was going through the changes, went back to college, and had a new concept about myself that I could do it. My life literally changed. Remember that day I told you? I was telling Pat that I was in the front lawn of my house, and I received this letter from the Ateneo High School, and the letter said, "We regret to inform you." And that was the day I thought I was the dumbest kid in the universe. Guess what happened 10 years after? 10, 11 years after, I was in front of the dean of the university, of the Ateneo, and I was in front of the dean of the theological department of the Ateneo. We were having lunch together, and those wonderful men looked at me and said, "Bo, what can we do to convince you to teach theology for us in the Ateneo?" I was just, within me, I was just laughing. I was saying, wow, look at me. 10, 11 years ago, I received a rejection letter from their high school department, and now they want me to teach. So what did I tell them? I told them, "I regret to inform you that I could not teach." I love to teach. I would love to teach in college, but I could not because of all the things that I was doing already, going around the world, proclaiming the good news and telling people about God and God's love. My dear friends, what my mother wanted me to change, and all she wanted to do, when I was a small kid, I'm sure mothers would find this very familiar. My mother would say, "Bo, please study. Please open those books. Please study. Please study. Please study. Did I do it? No, I didn't. Why? Because I did not believe I was a good student. I thought to myself, books and me, they don't go together. I hated books. How did I change? Not because someone wanted my behavior to change. I changed because I changed my self-concept. I changed how I looked at myself. I began to realize I'm special. Now I write books. Now if you go to my house, there's this library. Or is it a library with a house? Because there's so many books there, and I love books. Why did I change? because I believed that something happened in my life. I believed that I was someone special. And I look you in the eye and I tell you, listen carefully. You are special. And if you believe you're special, things will happen in your life. That God created you, that the fingerprints of God are all over your being, that in every part of your every fiber of your being, you are made in the image and likeness of God. And so He wants abundance for you. He wants success. So go for it, because you are